On our wedding anniversary, I lay in the hospital having miscarried. Ethan and his golden canary's love story hit the trending topics. I sent the divorce papers to Ethan. He stood before me, smiling faintly. "Alice, stop with these little games of playing hard to get. Acting spoiled is a trick for little girls." He was certain I was carrying his child and couldn't leave him, but he didn't know that the child was already gone. The golden canary was a small-time celebrity in the entertainment industry, her every move attracting attention. Within just a few minutes, the video captured by the paparazzi had topped the trending list. In the video was my husband, who was supposed to be on a business trip abroad. I saw Ethan queuing for 10 minutes just to buy the cotton candy the canary liked. They looked intimate. Ethan personally prepared a birthday surprise for her and put on the necklace he had prepared. Exclusive reveal. The mysterious boyfriend of the popular female star turns out to be a wealthy new nobility. The paparazzi hid Ethan's name and face, but having shared a bed with him for so many years, I could recognize him from just a silhouette. The person in the video was Ethan, who was supposed to be on a business trip. A strange number called. No matter how many times I hung up, they persistently called back. It was too annoying. I simply turned off my phone. I lay on the hospital bed, feeling the intermittent pain from my lower abdomen. Deep breath. Inhale, exhale. My nails left marks on my fingers, but the pain was nothing compared to the pain in my heart. I told myself I had just miscarried and needed to rest well. It wasn't worth getting angry and hurting myself over a cheating man. I slept for an hour. When I woke up, the video was still trending. That strange number called again. The paparazzi somehow got my number. Mrs. Song. "We have plenty more videos like this." I heard Mr. Song and Mrs. Song are deeply in love. Is 50 million too much to ask for these things? The little star's name was Bella. She was a starlet who had suddenly become popular in the last 6 months. Even though I didn't pay much attention to the entertainment industry, I had seen her commercials. I just didn't expect the person behind Bella to be the man sleeping next to me. In the video, Ethan had his arm around the little star as they came out of a nightclub, openly engaging in car play right at the entrance. A wave of nausea rose in my stomach, and my lower abdomen throbbed with pain. I inhaled softly, my hand trembling as I scrolled through the phone, but the gaze landing on the photos was firm and sharp. The paparazzi were sharper than me. The earliest photos dated back to a year ago, the moment Bella, wearing sexy lingerie, knocked on Ethan's hotel room door. Ethan was even wearing the suit I had given him. "Mrs. Song, I have more than just these. 50 million is definitely a bargain." The paparazzi was triumphant. Whether it was a popular starlet intruding into a wealthy marriage or a wealthy new nobility cheating while his wife was pregnant, it was news the public loved to hear. Moreover, Ethan and I had always had a good relationship. The paparazzi was certain I would bow my head for the sake of the company's interests and reputation. What was released today was just an appetizer to raise the price. Listening to the arrogant voice of the paparazzi, I only felt confused. This world is really strange. Clearly, the one cheating was Ethan, and the one intruding into the marriage was Bella. Yet when it came time to pay, they came to me. Am I some kind of cheap fool? Hold on, I need to take a call. I saved the videos and photos sent by the paparazzi, took out my work phone, and arranged for my secretary to prepare for the upcoming public opinion war. 3 minutes later, all steps were agreed upon. I replied to the impatient paparazzi, "I've made up my mind, go ahead and release them." Ethan's feelings for me had faded. I had sensed this long ago. Ethan frequently went on business trips, worked overtime, and stayed late. He would smile indulgently at his phone in front of me. He thought he was disguising it well, but he seemed to forget that I was only working from home temporarily because of the pregnancy, not dead on the job. One moment, Ethan kissed my forehead goodbye before his business trip, and the next, I could see the cancelled meetings on his phone. The joy of finding out I was pregnant was shattered bit by bit. After Ethan left again under the pretext of a temporary business trip, I touched the little life in my belly, wondering if I should turn a blind eye. Perhaps Ethan and I would become like those in our circle, a wealthy couple in name only. The boy who once loved me passionately and saved me would become a greasy, cheating middle-aged man like my father. I just needed to forget those beautiful past moments, and a lifetime would pass just like that. I persuaded myself this way, but I knew it wouldn't happen. I knew Ethan, and I understood men standing at the peak of power even better. After years of marriage, Ethan and I were no longer the loving couple who stood side by side and broke through adversity together. Without external pressure and stimulation, my marriage with Ethan became plain and ordinary. To this day, the only things supporting this marriage were intricate interests and each other's conscience. But conscience has never been reliable, and money and power, Not only Ethan was obsessed with them, but I wanted them too. After being discharged, I contacted a lawyer immediately. I was clear about the distribution of Ethan's assets. Long before seeing the video today, I had already asked the lawyer to draft a divorce agreement, but now it was different. The paparazzi proactively placed the evidence of Ethan's cheating in front of me. It was more direct and sufficient than what I had found. Ethan was far bolder than I imagined. He found a little star in the entertainment industry, a figure who could bring more attention anytime, anywhere, and specifically when I was pregnant. What a stupid move. What a great opportunity. I changed the content of the agreement. Since Ethan cheated, I wanted 70% of the postmarital assets, plus 10% of the Song Corporation's shares. When I married him, the Song family was already in decline. Without the unstinting support of me and the G family, he would never have had the chance to make a comeback in this lifetime. As a reasonable high-yield investment, 70% was not excessive. I signed my name and had someone send the document to Ethan's company. The winds of the internet world change in an instant. When I went online again, the paparazzi hadn't released those explicit videos, but netizens had already uncovered Ethan's identity. The paparazzi struck while the iron was hot. Song Corporation president and two-character female star on a sweet date. Suspected good news approaching. It seemed I wasn't the only generous employer. The prepared plan couldn't be used. I had to change methods. The little star also posted an ambiguous photo. Day trip to the amusement park. Happy birthday to me. The accompanying picture was a selfie of her bright and tender face, perfectly displaying the man's wristwatch beside her. Countless people marveled at the financial tycoon and the bright superstar romance novel coming into reality, calling it a perfect match. The little star even openly bought a trending topic for the matching rings she and Ethan wore. Under the comments exclaiming President Song couldn't have proposed already, she made ambiguous replies. The phone chimed with a message notification. A photo sent from a strange number showed hands clasped together, wearing a familiar pair of wedding rings. The sender aggressively called me an old woman who only knew work, a failure in marriage, saying if I knew what was good for me, I should divorce quickly and let their love be. Since I became President G, it had been a long time since anyone dared to be so arrogant in front of me. I hadn't planned to do anything to Bella initially. The one who cheated was Ethan. He was the one who couldn't control his lower body. As for how the two met, whether she offered herself or Ethan was blinded by lust, how it started wasn't important. It had already happened. Every circle has its own way of survival. I don't dictate others' choices, but the premise is she shouldn't provoke me. I, Alice G, am not a saintly mute who doesn't fight back when hit. I had someone cut off all of Bella's resources, scheduled lead roles, endorsements, magazines. Bella was right about one thing. I am an old woman who only knows work. I have plenty of power and means in my hands. Ethan's mother came to visit me at home. She put down the bag on her wrist, clearly having just come from an afternoon tea gathering. Ethan's mother was a very nice person. In recent years, she had become obsessed with gathering with wealthy wives. Hearing the news of my appearance at the hospital, she wasn't surprised. Alice, I heard you went to the hospital today. Are you feeling unwell somewhere? Concerned as always. Only her wandering eyes revealed her guilt. Nothing, just went for a small checkup. Your face is so pale. Is your stomach uncomfortable? You're only 3 months pregnant. A critical time. Oh my, why are your hands so cold? Ethan's mother held my cold hands tightly, trying to warm them with her palms. Ethan's mother was a very gentle woman. When Ethan picked up the disheveled me and brought me home, I stood at the door of the warm house, looking down at my clenched fingers. It was she who held my hand and comforted me, telling me not to be afraid. After Ethan and I got together, she took care of me meticulously, making up for the maternal love I lacked. She remembered I didn't like cilantro and couldn't eat spicy food. When I was busy with work, she would personally prepare dinner for me and bring it to the company. Before discovering Ethan's infidelity, I truly considered this my home and her my mother. Even if I was determined to divorce Ethan, I wouldn't take my anger out on his mother. I forced a smile. Maybe because I have a cold constitution. Always had cold hands and feet since I was little. Seeing my demeanor was normal. Ethan's mother breathed a sigh of relief. She gently stroked my fingers, mentioning it as if unintentionally. Alice, you and Ethan have been married for 5 years, right? It hasn't been easy. You two went through so many hardships to be together. Mom sees it all and hopes you will always be well. She wiped a tear from the corner of her eye, truly filled with emotion. If you hear any bad rumors, even for the sake of the child in your belly, you must trust him. The dagger was revealed. I pulled my hand from hers. What kind of rumors? That Ethan is keeping a mistress. Mom, you must have seen the videos online. Even so, You still want me to trust him? Ethan's mother's face stiffened, and tears fell in an instant. Alice, you saw it. Those videos might be fake. The person inside isn't necessarily Ethan. Meeting my gaze, she couldn't go on. She was his mother. Even if the video was blurry, she could recognize at a glance that it was Ethan. Really, how did I not know Ethan had a twin brother? Seeing the tears flickering in Ethan's mother's eyes, more sarcastic words stopped at my lips. She looked awkward and guilty but still braced herself to persuade. Alice, I know Ethan was wrong in this matter. He couldn't control himself and messed around outside. Don't be afraid. I won't acknowledge those people outside anyway. My only daughter-in-law is you. She eagerly criticized her son. Just one thing. You must not divorce. No matter what. Before making a decision, think about the child in your belly. It's still so small. Hasn't even come into this world yet. Can you bear to let it have no home? I stopped smiling. Ethan's mother knew me well. To be precise, she knew my family background, had seen me at my most wretched, and knew I hated men unfaithful to marriage the most. She knew that no matter how much Ethan and I once loved each other, if he cheated, I would definitely divorce him. So she desperately used the child in my belly to pressure me. But unfortunately, I shook off her hand. Why can't I divorce? Mom, let me call you Mom for the last time. You know very well Ethan cheated. While I was pregnant, he paraded around with a woman outside. The cheater isn't me. The betrayer of the family isn't me. And the one indifferent to his unborn child isn't me either. You shouldn't be here persuading me to endure, recounting our past to me, mentioning the 3-month-old fetus. You should save these words for your son. Ethan's mother stopped talking, just looking at me and silently weeping. Alice, you know, Mom has always treated you as my own daughter. Auntie, if it were your daughter encountering such a thing, would you also advise her to endure it? Ethan's sister, Chloe, was the treasure held in the palms of the Song mother and son. Even when the Song family was being chased for debts, they used their last connections to send her to study abroad, away from the chaos here. After the Song Corporation became powerful again, Ethan brought Chloe back to the country immediately. Just 6 months ago, Chloe married her longtime boyfriend, and her marriage was happy and fulfilling. Of course, she couldn't bear to let her precious daughter experience such a thing. Ethan's mother froze in place. If it were before, I would definitely comfort her properly. I once truly regarded her as my family, but unfortunately, she was Ethan's mother after all. In the face of blood relations, there is always intimacy and distance. No matter how well she treated me, it was only because I was her son's wife. Love me. Love my dog. Auntie, you disappoint me. I'm tired and going to rest. I won't keep you. When I woke up, it was already dark, and the pillow was still wet. Car lights flashed outside the window. Ethan returned at off-work time. I changed into formal clothes and went downstairs. After entering, Ethan took off his tie, rambling about work troubles, and hugged and kissed me as usual. If I hadn't seen the video of him at the amusement park, I might have really thought he was busy at the company all day. Bought you the small wontons from that shop near the school. Eat while hot. I looked at the thermos he placed on the table. Why did you suddenly think of buying wontons for me? Didn't you say you wanted wontons a couple of days ago? Did you forget? I had been pregnant with this child for only 3 months, but the morning sickness symptoms were already severe. Perhaps the child also sensed my emotions and resisted uneasily. I wanted sour today, sweet tomorrow, but after things were delivered home, I tasted 2 bites and vomited it all out. In just a month, I had lost half my weight. Ethan hugged me from behind. Mom said you weren't feeling well today. Is the baby making a fuss again? He pressed his cheek against the side of my head. Wifey, you've worked hard. After this child is born, I'll get a vasectomy. 1 child is enough for us. I can't bear to see you suffer anymore. He stuffed a spoon into my hand. Taste it quickly. See if it's good. I opened it and tasted a bite. Tastes exactly like before. Ethan breathed a sigh of relief, saying as if claiming credit, "That's good." It wasn't in vain for me to drive an hour specifically to buy it back. I smiled faintly. The taste hadn't changed, but the journey back was too long. The time too long. It was no longer in its most delicious state. Ethan was unaware, recalling the past. So many years. When I went to buy wontons today, I found it was still that shop owner. She even asked about you. He remembered the scene of our first meeting and gently tapped my forehead with his finger. You were such a crybaby back then. I was taken back to many years ago by these words. When I met Ethan, it was the lowest period of my life. My mother died of massive bleeding, and my dad's mistress moved in, bringing a boy the same age as me. Clearly, I was also a child growing up cherished in my mother's palm. But overnight I became a wild child no one cared about. My dad had a new wife, a new son, I, the daughter born to his ex-wife, became a burden, a superfluous existence in the family. Traces left by my mother were cleared away bit by bit. I moved from the room my mother carefully prepared for me before her death to a cramped utility room. When I was falsely accused of stealing and cried to explain, my dad just watched coldly. Actually, it wasn't a clever scheme. It was just that my dad was partial enough and didn't care about me enough. Since I displeased his darling, being framed, beaten, and scolded was what I deserved. Slowly, I also knew my situation and dragged coming home until very late every time. Meals were solved near the school. This wonton shop was the one I frequented most. The proprietress had dimples like my mother's. I ate while crying over my mother's death, crying over my broken family. When the sorrow was over, I found there were no tissues on the table. Awkwardly covering my tears and snot with my hands, Ethan appeared at this time. He sat behind me and listened to the whole process, putting the tissues from his table in front of me. Stop crying. It's not like the sky is falling. No need to cry like this. Tears are the most useless things. Whoever made you cry, make them cry. At that time, Ethan was the precious young master of the Song family, rebellious and looking down on everyone. He didn't like my cowardice, couldn't stand my tears. He wanted me to raise my head, hold my chest high, and stride forward. If the sky falls, it'll cover you. He helped me deal with the bullies at school, deliberately sent me back when my dad was home, letting my dad know I had a friend he needed to curry favor with. He was like a beam of light, pulling me up from the dark valley bottom. I irresistibly fell in love with him. At the time I shouldn't have been emotional. I abandoned reason. When the Song family fell, I stood resolutely by his side, accompanying him to make a comeback. I looked up, carefully examining Ethan in front of me. 10 years had left many subtle traces. Exercise and aesthetic medicine could maintain a good figure and appearance, but the eyes were different after all. The high-spirited Ethan was shattered and reshaped before my eyes, and stained with filth at some unknown time. I knew what Ethan meant today, using past memories to move me, then guaranteeing no illegitimate children outside. As long as I didn't expose it, this matter would be considered past. Ethan thought very well, and his acting was warm enough, but who told him this matter could pass? I put down the spoon. Don't you have something to tell me? The expression on Ethan's face paused for a moment, then quickly returned to normal. Wifey, I knew I couldn't hide it from you. I'd dealt with the work for the next few days, so I finally have time to accompany you properly. Anything else? The child was gone, and the morning sickness was gone too. Watching Ethan perform clumsily alone in front of me, I felt my appetite was excellent. Anything else, like the video online, the divorce agreement I sent to the company, or perhaps the resources I cut off from Bella? Ethan's face turned cold. Why aren't you smiling? Did you think of something unhappy? Seeing the sarcastic expression on my face, Ethan sighed faintly, seemingly disappointed yet indifferent. He hugged me, his palm cupping my shoulder, a controller's posture. Wifey, you're pregnant. Don't always let your imagination run wild. We will be together forever. You are not allowed to mention divorce to me. Ethan rested his head on my shoulder, rubbing ambiguously against my neck. Ethan was noble and flamboyant outside, but after really falling in love, I found he was a clingy guy. He liked to act spoiled, liked to show weakness in front of his lover to get what he wanted, like a cat fierce outside, exposing its belly to you at home, making one feel how special and important they were to him. I always fell for this trick the most. When we argued before, as long as Ethan put on this posture, I would definitely take a step back. But now, feeling the warm breath hitting my neck, I suddenly wondered if he was always like this in front of Bella too, talking about family and marriage in front of me, seeking passion and romance outside. Just thinking of such a scene made me feel sick. I reached out and pulled out his collar stained with lipstick. Remember to look in the mirror when coming back. Ethan's face became ugly after seeing that smudge of red. Work shouldn't be very busy today. You still had time to go to the amusement park, combining work and rest. Quite good. I pushed him away and took out another signed divorce agreement. Look at the conditions. If no objections, sign it. Ethan stood up shaking his head after seeing the divorce agreement, smiling at me meaningfully. You're divorcing me over this kind of thing. Seeing I didn't speak, he casually tucked the lipstick-stained collar back in and said, Don't worry, I'm just under too much pressure, raising a little pet to play with. Who in the circle isn't like this? Just turn a blind eye, and this matter will pass. Seeing I didn't speak, he leaned in again to hug me. If you don't like that Bella, I'll arrange to ban her immediately. She absolutely won't appear in front of you in the future. Wifey, rest assured, the only one I love is you. I couldn't listen anymore, nauseous enough to vomit. and pushed him away hard. I don't care about Bella. I just hope you can sign as soon as possible. It's convenient for both of us. Ethan's song had rotted in a corner I couldn't see long ago. Every moment staying by his side made me feel sick. I didn't want to see him again. This was a desecration of the Ethan who was once full of me. Seeing the disgust in my eyes, Ethan said impatiently, "When did you start playing this hard-to-get game too? Alice, I gave you a way out. Take it. Don't threaten me with divorce." Looking at his confident appearance, I frowned in confusion. "Ethan, what makes you think I would forgive a cheating man?" Ethan smiled faintly. "You love me so much, and you're carrying my child. How could you bear to divorce me? Besides, didn't you have no reaction when you knew about me and Bella before?" Ethan was righteous. I suddenly realized something. "So you let me know about the cheating on purpose?" I looked up in shock, staring dead at the expression on Ethan's face. Ethan didn't deny it. Looking at my thin face, he looked away uncomfortably. My heart suddenly settled. Right. Ethan had been sleeping with Bella a year ago, and he hid it without a trace back then. If he hadn't deliberately placed the phone receiving Bella's message in front of me, I would probably still be kept in the dark until today. "Because I'm pregnant. You think I can't leave you, so you deliberately exposed the cheating to me to test my reaction." "I just got pregnant. Weren't you worried I'd be agitated?" Ethan's gaze fell on me, saying casually, "You've always been healthy. Aren't you fine?" So funny. I lost so much weight. Face pale, forced to work from home due to fatigue and lethargy. Ethan's mother often brought homemade soup to take care of me. And Ethan, he could forcefully demand me to stop working using my health as an excuse, and also casually assume my health was perfectly fine. Even though I had given up on Ethan, I still felt heartbroken at this moment, feeling unworthy for myself. Disgusting. I insisted on divorce. Ethan pinched my face, leaving harsh words viciously before leaving. "Alice, who do you think you are? Look in the mirror at yourself. Do you still think you're a young, pretty girl, that I'm still willing to give you the position of Mrs. Song and pamper you is me thinking highly of you? Do you think you're any different from those wealthy wives staying at home? Just a vice president of a company. As long as I want, I can make you disappear from the company anytime. The company runs just fine without you, but without me, you have nothing. It'll give you time to think it over. Don't be like a little girl throwing endless tantrums." Ethan slammed the door and left, never setting foot in this home again. But I could learn about Ethan's romantic movements from various channels and ways. He accompanied Bella shopping, dated Bella. The little star named Bella sent me the latest photos and videos every day, showing off that Ethan gave her several endorsements and put her into some film crew. They kissed and made love wantonly. Bella even sent me more than 10 private videos in bed, really treating me like family. I wasn't idle either. While Ethan was busy parading around the world with his new love, I transferred the assets under my name and opened a new company, leveraging the connections I accumulated over the years and the name of the Song Corporation. I started anew, taking advantage of the time Ethan wasn't home. I hired a moving company to send my things to another property under my name. The remaining things related to Ethan. I sold what could be sold and threw away what couldn't. In just one day, the house was empty. I closed the door. Then, I sold this marital home that Ethan and I designed and decorated together. The day after I listed the house, Ethan called. "Alice, good job. Thanks for the compliment. When are you signing?" The other side was exasperated, and soon came the ambiguous sounds with a woman. I hung up immediately, ear-piercing. Ethan made a big fanfare, taking Bella in and out of major occasions, and demoted me at the board meeting citing my health reasons. He claimed it was for me to rest during pregnancy, but rumors spread in the circle. Everyone knew Ethan tore his face with me for the canary kept outside. On the surface, Ethan was triumphant. While I had to give up the Song Corporation I built single-handedly and start my own business, I became the wife of chaff and bran in everyone's mouth, kicked out of the house while pregnant with the Song family's child. All bullshit. When the Song family went bankrupt, if not for Alice's painstaking efforts, would he, Ethan, have today? Ungrateful wolf biting the hand that feeds him, can't control the thing in his pants, doesn't look at what kind of thing he is. Chloe Zhao encountered them gossiping in private at a party, scolded them indirectly for half an hour, and finally left the table. The next day, she brought a few men to my door. "I just went abroad to play for a month, and you let people bully you like this when I came back. Why can Ethan keep a woman? You find a few little puppies too. I want the whole world to know that my good sister Alice deserves all the good things in this world. It's him, Ethan, who doesn't deserve you." Chloe closed the laptop in my hand, put her arm around my shoulder, and commented in my ear, "Don't worry, they are all young college students, in their prime, full of youth. Much more fragrant than an old goods like Ethan. Besides, Ethan refuses to divorce. We have to provoke him. I was persuaded and kept the one who looked most pleasing to the eye, doing the full act. That boy soon moved into my house and became my personal assistant. With Chloe, the big loudspeaker, Ethan got the news very quickly. He sent me messages one by one, accusing me of cheating, daring to cuckold him. He rushed into my office, sneering at the boy. Alice, your taste is this bad now. You fancy a wet behind's brat, better than a dirty rotten cucumber. Security, see the guest out, I replied without raising my head. Ethan lost face with me and put out word in the industry that anyone cooperating with me was going against him. Ethan's song. Ethan fell from the clouds and climbed back up. He had seen the warmth and coldness of the world, knew how uncomfortable it was for a tiger to fall to the flat land, and how many people would come up to make things difficult. He was certain I was just jealous and wouldn't really divorce, waiting for me to hit walls everywhere and obediently go back to him to admit my mistake. But he only remembered how difficult the situation was when he was down, but forgot how he got through that time. Only a few years. He only knew he was the chairman of the song group, probably forgetting that nearly half of the cooperation and clients of the company were secured by me. Mr. Wong, happy cooperation. I raised my glass to signal the other side. On the table was the contract just signed. I had the latest technical information of the song group and the most solid connections. Ethan cheated and was guilty and wary of me. When I was unwell during pregnancy, he immediately advised me to rest at home. I returned the favor. The day after discovering his affair, I secretly took away the clients in hand and won over the company shareholders, leaving enough retreat for myself. For so many years, I worked silently for the song group, so much so that Ethan had forgotten. Without the identity of Mrs. Song, I am still Alice G., the President G who took back the G Corporation in 2 years and spent 3 years helping Ethan make a comeback. I found a courier company to send a divorce agreement to Ethan's office every day. Ethan threw them in the trash for a few days and then chose to reject them. I paid an extra 1,000 yuan daily for the courier to read the content of the divorce agreement I sent loudly at the front desk downstairs, especially the part about his cheating during marriage. Heard Ethan was so angry he took antihypertensive drugs. His high pressure went up to 160 at a young age. Private photos of Ethan and Bella spread like wildfire in the song group's internal chat groups. Several persons in charge contacted in advance resigned from the song group one after another and came to my new company. The board of directors wanted to hold Ethan accountable. Ethan was extremely busy, having to make up for the losses caused by the loss of personnel and clients, and take over the mess of half-done projects. People's hearts at the song group were scattered. Ethan was so busy he didn't have time to accompany Bella on trending topics, let alone trouble my company. At this time, rumors of a popular 2-character female star intruding into a married wealthy family hit the trending topics. Netizens guessed around and finally found Bella. Bella and the song group official account issued a stamped rumor refutation notice immediately. Ethan widely publicized my pregnancy and bought trending topics about our past love, creating a good husband role for himself to clear the suspicion from him and Bella. When Chloe saw the news, she called me immediately and cursed Ethan for half an hour. You know a person's face but not their heart. Why didn't I see that the surnamed Song was so shameless before? A cheating trash actually has the nerve to drag you out, claiming to be some peerless wife-loving good man. I spit. She paced back and forth in front of the floor-to-ceiling window, high heels clicking, as if wanting to embed the heel into Ethan's neck. I couldn't help laughing. What's the rush? His retribution is coming soon. I had someone release the video the paparazzi sent me originally. The paparazzi sent me the original raw video. No mosaic, no blocking, to let me see clearly. They even zoomed in on the faces, just right for the broad netizens to see clearly too. Once the video was out, it was simply Thor's hammer. Bella and Ethan quickly triggered mass mockery. The song group quickly turned on comment selection, trying to hide. Ethan rarely appeared in public, but Bella didn't. She was a currently popular female star in the entertainment industry. Her career started too fast. Ethan grabbed too many people's resources to show his favor to her, offending quite a few people invisibly. A newcomer who just debuted 2 years ago, obscure for a year and a half, suddenly got a pile of big heroin resources. Those who understand understand. Being a mistress and daring to be so arrogant buying trending topics, looking like a villain achieving ambition makes me want to vomit. Bella was deep in a sex scandal. The breach of contract fees for endorsements alone were several $100 million. The matter of me accompanying Ethan to beg grandpas and grandmas for cooperation was also dug out. The cheating man is my former company's boss. Back then, The boss family declined and owed a buttload of debt. It was all thanks to the boss wife supporting him and accompanying him. They had such a good relationship back then. Everyone in our company knew. Didn't expect he would cheat. Current company employee here to leak some news. The cheating tycoon rumored online is indeed surnamed Song. We knew about this a while ago. The boss wife was pregnant and didn't come to the company for over a month. Result was the day after the trending topic of the female star surnamed Lynn's romance. The boss demoted the boss wife. The boss wife simply started her own company and had someone read the divorce agreement at the front desk every day. Now everyone in the company knows. Cheating during pregnancy and abandoning the wife of Chaffin Bran, plus the unspoken rules of entertainment industry resource. The Song Group faced a serious public opinion crisis. The new product launch that Ethan worked overtime for half a month to get done was boycotted by indignant netizens just 3 days after listing, ending dismally. I took the opportunity to seize the market with better products developed, and the new company also gained popularity with this wave of heat. Ethan called to scold me. Alice, how did I not see you were so cruel? Was it necessary to drive me to a dead end? Of course it's necessary, future ex-husband. I also have to thank you for the attention you contributed to me. This is more effective than me investing tens of millions in marketing. By the way, remember to sign the agreement. Otherwise I can't guarantee what I'll do next. Attached were those videos of Ethan in bed and a private voice recording. All Ethan's boundless talk in private. The things were sent to me by Bella. After the cheating was exposed, Ethan only remembered to save himself. In interviews, he hinted that Bella seduced him, pushing all the blame onto Bella. Bella's career was ruined, kicked away by Ethan, and burdened with a large breach of contract fee. She found me to use this recording to extort her own escape. Ethan had no filter in front of Bella, scolding partners without missing a word, talking big about the company's tax evasion methods, and even talking about politics when high on alcohol, really courting death while it's hot. Ethan finally signed the divorce agreement. A month later, I got the divorce certificate as wished and completely cut off contact with Ethan. After Ethan found out Bella gave me the voice recording and videos, he went to settle accounts with Bella and was stabbed into the hospital by the desperate Bella. Heard he injured his family jewels and was impotent for life. Ethan was hospitalized with severe injuries. The Song Group was leaderless. I sent the evidence of Song Group's tax evasion to the authorities. The Song Group was liquidated for bankruptcy, divided and eaten by enterprises coveting it. I took the biggest share. Seeing Ethan again was 3 months later. He guarded my door somewhat wretchedly. Seeing me, he raised his head confidently again. Wifey, long time no see. I really missed you. Ethan must have dressed up well before coming, but unfortunately, his face was pale. He was still wearing the suit I customized for him a year ago, hanging loosely on his body like a skeleton sucked dry of essence. But he seemed unaware, still putting on a high and mighty appearance in front of me. Wifey, it's been so long this time. You should have cooled down. I'll accompany you for the prenatal checkup. We'll remarry tomorrow. I looked down at my flat abdomen and asked him doubtfully, are you blind, or have amnesia? We are divorced. There is no relationship between you and me. Please call me President G when you see me. Hearing this, gloom flashed in Ethan's eyes. He leaned against the wall. You are carrying my child in your belly, and you dare say you have no relationship with me. Child. Oh, right. Forgot to notify you. I aborted the child half a year ago. Although you are blind and deaf and don't know, I can also kindly notify you. Ethan was incredulous. You actually aborted our child. Alice, how could you be so cruel? That was my only child. Why? Because of you. Of course. Ethan, you don't need to pretend to be so heartbroken in front of me. The person who cheated during my pregnancy and thought he could bind me with a child was you. This child died at your hands. Ethan's eyes were full of regret, but I knew he didn't regret his cheating and betrayal. He didn't regret his wandering and betrayal in the marriage, just regretted why he didn't pretend more thoroughly back then. At least pretend until after I gave birth to the child. Thinking of this, I didn't even have the pleasure of looking at Ethan again. I glanced at his lower body and kindly blessed, wanting children so much. Wish you a house full of descendants. The expression on Ethan's face twisted and hideous. Reaching out to grab me, I took a step back, leaning against a solid chest. The person behind had extended his arm to tightly grip Ethan's hand. He twisted hard, and Ethan let out a wail. The boy's aggrieved voice came close to my ear. Sister, who is he? An old man fading in color. I closed the door amidst Ethan's incredulous gaze, hearing his final roar and question. Alice, you dare find a man behind my back? Ridiculous. He, a cheating trash, was past tense long ago. Did he really think I would hang on him for a lifetime? Am single and rich. What's wrong with keeping a little puppy?